a preacher, I'm adamant. There's rules to the walk. God wrote them on tablets. Step by step commandments for you to get your life on track, not your spirit on racks. Number one is the problem that I most find. You can't have any other gods before the Most High. Not a Allah or Selassie, not a Yahweh or a Bali, not a Buddha. They intruded with all of their folly. Number two is
yeah, we post up truth bombs at the mic. Aharon Yasharahla lighting up the night. Vigilant watchmen never snoring off the grind. Eyes on the news, peeping all the signs. They sling lies, we bringing clarity. Breaking down the script, straight sincerity. Headlines shifty, gotta stay woke. Truth in every word, not just a hefty joke. Current affairs, tune in, y'all listen close. Aharon Yasharahla hit you with the most. No fluff, just facts, we dissecting the scene. Radio wave, sharp, cut and clean. Modern day prophets, echoes of the past. We see through the smoke, these lies won't last. Real talk, mountains from the molehills. Truth reigns supreme over fake thrills. Government plots, we expose the schemes. Politics dirty, trying to crush dreams. From the ghettos to the burbs, we keep it raw. Current affairs, y'all feeling every law. Current affairs, tune in, y'all listen close. Aharon Yasharahla hit you with the most. No fluff, just facts, we dissecting the scene. Radio wave, sharp, cut and clean.
Let's clap it up, let's clap it up. What's going on, family? What's going on? I'm glad to hear y'all, see y'all, love y'all again from a far away. Aharon Yasharahla with current events, and I'm at y'all at a better time, I believe, at 7 p.m. And yes, as I said before, that 9 p.m., it was cool, you know, but that's when a lot of us are. I know a lot of times I was tired. So, Shalom, Mr. Richard, how you doing, my man? Shalom. So with that said, y'all, I hope everyone has had a blessed week. And this is Sunday, the start of a new week. So I hope that all praise to the Most High that we can get it right and become more perfect, right? Shalom as everyone comes in. How y'all doing? Shalom Barakatah. So, before I begin this nice broadcast, and I got some things to talk about tonight, y'all. I got some things, some health things, and some just wonderful things I'm pretty sure you will love. But I always want to give a shout out to my beautiful partner, my wife, Asha Chanel. And I want you all to check out Naturally Glam Skincare and Cosmetics because I'm a big proponent to support Black-owned businesses. Now, these products, as I always tell you all, are all natural. There are no preservatives. There are no additives. Everything is made in-house. Everything there are no chemicals. It's all naturally made for women, for men, for boys, for girls. And I just so happen to have a few products in front of me. Like we have some ladies lotion right here, right? She also has a facial wash for women, right? She also has some body oil for men and beard oil. So go and check out naturallyglamcosmetics.com, right? And you can be guaranteed to have the best products on the face of this earth. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, big ups to Natural Glam Skincare and Cosmetics. Check out the website as you see right there, right? Now, let's jump right in, as my main man says. Yes, website, naturallyglamskincare.com. Website. Yes, ma'am. Shalom, Shamaria. How you doing, sis? It was good to see you earlier. All right, so jumping right in, family. We have all heard of, if we actually are reading and studying our Bibles, our history book, we have all heard of the Tower of Babel, right? Now, as I'm doing my research, and I told you I get a lot of my research material from Shalom. I get a lot of my research material from Instagram, and now TikTok, because I see why people like TikTok. I actually downloaded TikTok. I got a lot of stuff on there. I got a lot of stuff on there. So that's a valuable tool, at least for me. But we've all heard about the Tower of Babel. And this struck my eye and my ear because they have these earbuds now. And I titled this Tower of Babel earbuds. I saw these earbuds that they're promoting across the internet, across social media, and I found a lot of it on TikTok and Instagram, especially really on TikTok. And this actually, if technology is used correctly, family, technology can be a wonderful thing. And these earbuds that I found actually, they actually are AI powered, right? What is not AI power? The AI power is to where if I'm speaking English to someone who is German and they don't know any English, or they speak in German, they will hear what I say in their language, right? Now, this to me sounds like two things now that I'm thinking about it. At first, I was thinking about the Tower of Babel, right? But we all know that Samuel tries to replicate what the Most High does. So with the Tower of Babel, we all know that that is where the Most High confounded the tongues of the nations, right? Because there was only one speech back then, Hebrew. It was one speech. So again, I'm going ahead and read my notes. The Tower of Babel, these earbuds, they have the AI capabilities. There are now earbuds that translate any language into your own, right? And now the Tower of Babel is where the Most High confused or confounded the tongues and made different languages. That's what different languages came about, right? Now, just a little bit of history on that. That's when Nimrod, everyone heard of Nimrod. Nimrod had everyone building that tower in an attempt to reach heaven, as we know the scriptures, right? Um, and the Most High said they would have accomplished their mission if he hadn't confounded the tongues and scattered them based on giving new tongues to the earth instead of just one speech. So when I'm looking at this, we all know, yeah, the AI is a mess. You're absolutely right. We all know that they want to have one speech, one this, one that, one world religion, one world order, NWO, whatever you want to call it, right? But I'm looking at this because um, now they have these earbuds to where there are no excuses for the powers that be. Exactly, acts, first fruits, all tongue, and that's what I was thinking about. Thank you, sis. So, and this is where people get it twisted at because, as she just mentioned, acts, first fruits were the Holy Spirit. Because Christ said, if I don't leave, the Comforter can't come. So the Holy Spirit came down, and our ancestors were able to speak, right? They were able to speak, but the people that heard it, they heard it on their own language. But then we have a lot of Christian pastors talking about this is speaking in tongues. It is speaking in tongues, but not that gibberish and babble that we hear the guy T.D. Jakes talk about or say. That's not what talking in tongues is, honestly. But this earbud thing just caught my attention simply because Samuel, the enemy, never sleeps. He's always walking around saying who he can devour, and he's trying to devour the entire earth. Yeah, these earbuds are a good thing. They really, really are. But we have to think about what is the ultimate goal for these things. What is the ultimate goal? Like Arsenio Hall used to say, things that make you go, I had to put that out there, y'all. I had to put that out there. But again, I always try to find something related to in the Bible. And I will go to, if you have your Bibles with you, your swords with you, the book of Genesis, right? Let me go ahead and open up my sword. Give me 1 second. I'm using technology, the phone. Genesis 11, 1 through 9. So I'll go ahead and just read that very quickly. Genesis chapter 11, verse 1 through 9, which reads, family, Shalom, Shalom, Nola, how you doing? Glad to see you. Genesis 11, 1 through 9 reads, family, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Verse 3. And they said one to another, go, Let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go, let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach up into heaven, and let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad the face of the whole earth. Verse 5, And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Verse 7, Go to, let us go down, and therefore confound the language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from the hence of the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Verse 9, Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So with that scripture, these earbuds, yes, technology is good, but there's always a different meaning behind it, something diabolical. And because the Most High scattered the languages, now the powers that be are bringing it back to one language. Here in Babylon, New Egypt. So again, as I always say, put on the whole armor of the Most High, because that's all we got. Shalom, how you doing, Coleman? Shalom, good to see you. Now, moving along, did y'all know about? This is just a brief kick on this, brief take. That earthquake that was in California. That earthquake that was in California happened at 1:44 p.m. December the 5th, and it was a 7.0 magnitude earthquake. Now, I haven't ever been in an earthquake, but I understand from what the Richter scales show and what has been reported that these things, buenos and shalom, good content. Hey, muchas gracias. I've tried. You know, now what was funny about this? What was funny about this is that it did not cause a tsunami, and we know that earthquakes causes tsunamis, but this was a 7.0 on the Richter scale, and it did not. And that's the head scratcher for me, because there are smaller earthquakes that do produce tsunamis, but you're telling me a 7.0 did not produce a tsunami? Let me pause real quick, because Miss Diane, I'm sorry, I was just I'm trying to read the chat very, very quickly, and I was just told who you actually are. I'm sorry, Mom, the mother of Shamaria. How are you? I'm sorry, I didn't pick up on the name. How are you doing out there? I'm glad you're listening. So with that said, family, of course, this is again, it did not cause a tsunami, which is insane to me. But let's just go to the two books I want to go to. The book of Luke, right? The book of Luke 21 and verse 11, which basically says, And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. That's Luke 21 and 11. Now let's turn to the book of Matthew, because I do have two verses for this. Book of Matthew 24 and 7. Chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Hey, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. This probably was HARP made. I mean, nowadays, what isn't HARP made? Look at this past hurricane season that we had. I mean, I think all of that was HARP made, because it lasted so long, and they were trying to do so much, but they accomplished some of their mission. They did. But moving along, you all, have anyone ever heard of She-Legit? Not too legit, but She-Legit. She-Legit. I'm always online looking up whatever. Sometimes I just start scrolling just to find some content. And I came across some great content. And I actually happen to have with me a little bottle of Shilajit. Shilajit. If you can see that. Shilajit. Shilajit. Now, Shilajit. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is a good supplement for us to use. It actually is a resin that we can consume. Now, yes, so you tried it. All praises. All praise to the Most High. I'm glad you tried that. I'm not the only one out here. Need more? Yes. Yes. That Shilajit works wonders. Now, the reason, before I read my notes on it, you all, the reason I bought this is because in my family, I had my dad, he passed, he had dementia. My grandfather, my mom's dad, he passed at the end of his days at 105. He had dementia. So when I found Shilajit, one of the benefits it says is it said that it helps to prevent Alzheimer's and or dementia. Same thing. Same thing, right? Now, let me go ahead and read my notes here because when I found this, there was this lady on television who she's like a, let me say, like a white Dr. Sebi, right? And she gives all these different remedies and different herbal usages for different herbs that we should use for our bodies. And she mentioned Shilajit, and I was just so ecstatically happy about this, right? Now, one thing that came up in this on this topic, it said that us men, we should stop drinking. If you are a beer drinker, stop drinking beer, because she said that within 15 minutes of drinking beer, our testosterone levels drop lower than that of the average woman. That's deep. A man's testosterone levels after drinking beer 15 minutes later, testosterone levels drop more than that of a woman. She also went on to say that beer also affects the photons that are responsible for testosterone production. And so there were three things that she mentioned that men need to stop doing: drinking beer, using vegetable oil or seed oil. Those three things. And she mentioned that vegetable oil or seed oil shortens a man's life expectancy by a quarter. Now that's a lot. Think about a quarter. A quarter of a lifespan. So if you live 100 years, it's going to take off 25. So that means you telling me you could have lived to be 100 and you only live to be 75? Ooh. That's a lot to say. So it reduces man's life expectancy by a quarter and reduces testosterone levels as well. Now, Shilajit is also known as the cure to all infirmities. It increases testosterone levels by 300%. Now, we know the old adage, family. And more joy, good to see you as well. The old adage says things that taste good to you are simply bad for you. Hence, sugar. Sugar tastes good, but we know the repercussions of sugar is bad, right? Things that taste bad to you are good for you. Now, this Shilajit, family, this Shilajit, it looks and smells like tar. Some people say motor oil. It's a resin. Thank you. It is a resin. It is, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. How they say, I ain't gonna hold you. It's nasty, but it works, man. And anything that can give me longevity, anything that can help clean out my system, anything that can give me clarity of mind, anything that can help prevent Alzheimer's and or dementia. Listen, I'm all for that. When you know better, family, what? We do better. And I mean, and I'm just here, all praise to the Most High, to give Christ his usury. And this is one way I'm giving him his usury. Oh yeah, I have mixed mine with coffee too, because you got to melt it down. Unless you heated it up somehow, in the container or took some out and heated it up, you got to melt it down because it straight up look like tar, like for real. But Shilajit, you all, get you all some Shilajit. The website, I actually got it off TikTok. I was just on TikTok and I found it. And the reason I got it, y'all, is because I ran across it. It was like my fourth or fifth time. And, I'm a big proponent of health, right? So I bit and I got some. And it's worth it. Let me tell you, it's worth it. I got it from TikTok. That's where I got it from. It's very sticky. And I used gloves one time, but now I don't need gloves anymore because I know how to deal with it. But yeah, it's very messy if you just try to scoop it, because it does come with a golden spoon, itty bitty spoon, little cute little spoon. But anyway, I do have some more things to speak about to you all. Moving right along, I have an FYI to cleanse your gut, a gut cleanse, and this comes from the same lady I was speaking about. I'm not sure of her name, but I will get her name, and when I tell you her name, everyone has seen her. I'm gonna call her the White Dr. Sebi. I think she's an ex-nurse, right? Gut cleanse. This will help clean your gut, and this will help clean out all the old poop that we have in our intestines, right? And all you would need is you get you some water, some H2O. You bring the H2O to a nice, hard, steady boil, right? You want to add about half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar. Let that boil about 5 minutes, and then once that boils about 5 minutes, you want to pour that into a cup. You want to take you a lemon, half a lemon, and you want to squeeze half of a lemon into that cup. Unless you got you some lemon juice already, you want to, a good amount of lemon juice into that cup with a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar. You want to let that mix up real well in water, boil it up very well, very well. And then you want to drink that. You want to drink about a cup a day. And that will loosen up what's in our gut, what's in our intestines, and that will help us all natural. Another thing to help us save money. Another remedy, as my wife told me, is some warm water and salt water, warm salt water. That helps as well if you're constipated, right? So those two things I wanted to bring out. All right. So again, to cleanse your gut, you want to take a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of sugar, half a lemon, put all that together, boil it with some water. You want to drink that down, about a cup a day. How they used to say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. A cup of this a day keep that doctor away for real. Because that pharmacy ain't no joke. We don't want no problems, we don't want that smoke at all. Right? Oh yeah, that's what's up. So you drink that every day with warm water. Okay, cool. I'm glad somebody hip to it. Moving along, family. This is this next story. I haven't heard about something like this in a long time. Has anyone ever heard of an iron lung? Not iron lung because you search chief neck and you still out there smoking that Chiba. Not that kind of iron lung. Okay, pure black is the name of yours. Okay. The last person in the world to live in an iron lung, his name is Paul Alexander. Has anyone ever heard of a Paul Alexander? Paul Alexander. Now, family, this is wild. I ain't heard about something like this since I was a kid, right? And I'm on the cusp of 47 now. Anyway, Paul Alexander was the last person in the world to live in an iron box. And this man lived in an iron box for 73 years. So imagine how they say how people used to literally live in a bubble, a big old bubble. This man lived in a iron lung, a box. It was made of an iron. It was made out of iron, and his head stuck out of it, right? So he lived in this iron box for 73 years, family. And he had been living in this iron box ever since he was 5 years old, because back in 1952, Mr. Paul Alexander was diagnosed with polio. And we know back then, polio was literally a crippler for people, was literally a killer for people. But this man's uh, mother and father, I believe, with the doctor's assistance, they put him in this iron lung, what they call the iron lung. And the only thing that was protruding out of the hole in the iron lung was his head. So the rest of his body was inside of the iron lung. Now, from the time that he was placed in the iron lung, like I said, only his head was exposed. He still was able to do his daily things as far as shave his face, brush his teeth. Of course, someone else did that for him because he didn't have the usage of his hands. And when I found this piece, they actually had pictures of him. So you have someone out there brushing his teeth for him, shaving his face for him. And, humans, we are some immaculate people when we are put up, when our back is against the wall. We will pull something out of our hiney real quick that we didn't know we could even do. But Mr. Paul Alexander, in 1940, he was able to pass the bar exam. So here this man is laying on his back side, however he was positioned in that iron lung, a steel cage box, was able to study for his bar exam, and he passed it in 1940. That's an amazing feat. That's an amazing feat, right? Now, when I was researching this, it said that he actually wrote, he had a pen in his hand, but his mouth was his hand. He had a pen in his mouth in which he wrote himself a 150-page memoir using only his mouth. So he had something in his mouth. Can y'all imagine writing with your mouth? Can you imagine that? And you write your memoir, 150 pages. Come on, man. These kind of things you can't make up. You can look it up. Paul Alexander. Unfortunately, Mr. Alexander passed in 2024, from what they say in Dallas. He was 74 years old. So he just passed. I believe it was in March of this year. Remarkable. Remarkable. A man living in an iron lung. I haven't heard of an iron lung in so many years. And to find that, I actually had to pull that out. So you all know that in my past shows, I was doing some jokes, what some people call dad jokes. I didn't have any last time, but I got a few this time. I got some jokes for y'all this time. So pardon my humor, okay? Now, what has 5 toes but isn't your foot? What has 5 toes, family, but isn't your foot? I'll ask one more time. What has 5 toes but isn't your foot? You give up? It's my foot. Yes, sir, Rich. I'm bringing them. What has 5 toes but isn't your foot? It's my foot. All right. Got a few more jokes for y'all, just to break some of this up. Now, before I say this next joke, I want you all to get your mind out the gutter because your mind is going to go there. All right. All right, Kim. It's all good. But it's funny though. All right. Get your mind out the gutter when I ask you this joke. What is long, hard, and full of semen? Get your mind out the gutter. What is long, hard, and full of semen? Get your mind out the gutter. What is long, hard, and full of semen? A submarine. All right. Now, what do you all call a bear with no teeth? she said a boat. What do you all call a bear with no teeth? What do you call a bear with no teeth? Anyone got any answers? It's very simple. Everyone knows the answer to this. A bear with no teeth. Oh, more joy. Listen, you are very close. A gummy bear. Oh yeah. Yeah, you had it. You had it. All right. You must have heard that joke before. Now, my last joke I got for y'all. I don't think you'll get this one though. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? Why can't you hear why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? Any guesses? Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? Think outside the box. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going outside the bathroom? Going to the bathroom. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? It's because the P is silent. Because when you spell pterodactyl, it's P, T, and so forth and so on. But it starts with a P, second letter T. You can't hear the pterodactyl going to the bathroom because the P is silent. Yeah, they're extinct too, but the P is silent. Hey, Rich, you know that was funny, man. You know that was funny, bro. All right, y'all. Moving along for my little corny jokes. Thank you for laughing, Miss Wiggins. I appreciate that. Moving along for my little corny jokes. I do have an FYI, you all, and this actually is awesome, right? I call this FYI education. There was a 12-year-old black girl who created virus killing air filters for her classrooms. Thank you, sir. A 12-year-old black girl created some virus killing air filters for her classroom. And these air filters, family, were so good that the state approved $11.5 million to install her systems in the school. A little black 12-year-old girl invented some virus killing air filters for her classrooms. And they were so good that the state approved $11.5 million to install her systems in these schools. Now, how brilliant is that? How brilliant is that? Our people are so great. 12 years old. Now, I didn't dig any further to get her name, nor what school system or state it was in. That is for you to do. But she was a black girl, 12 years old. What had to happen in this little girl's life to do anything? Yes, all praises to the Most High. To even think about something like that. The only thing I can think of is that she must have been living in the projects, must have had some mold in her home, probably had an elderly person that couldn't breathe well, and she knew it had to do something with the air filters. Wow, she's on another level. That is what today's society calls a genius. So all praise to the Most High, all praise to the Most High that He gave her that ability to do that. I'm going to research her again and see what else she's come up with, because that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And I hope they paid that young lady for that. That's great. That is an awesome thing. Now, I have something else for us. I got something else for us. Now, she's going to go down in history as a black inventor. But I do want to share with you all some black inventors that none of us probably even ever heard of. Because some of these names I know I sure hadn't heard of at all. Not in the least bit. Has anyone ever heard of Jesse Russell? Jesse Russell was the inventor of the first digital cell phone. Jesse Russell. was the inventor of the first digital cell phone, was Jesse Russell. We also have a Dr. Shirley Jackson, and Shirley Jackson invented the caller ID. Shirley Jackson invented the caller ID, and Mr. Jesse Russell invented is inventor of the first digital cell phone. The first digital cell phone. Now it goes further than that with us. I also found a guy whose name is James West. Mr. James West invented the electret, not electric, electret microphone, which has advanced uh, the sound industry and became the standard microphone used in products from music recording equipment to hearing aid devices. So Mr. James West is on record as to being the inventor of the electret microphone, which has advanced the sound industry and became the standard microphone used in products from music recording equipment to hearing aid devices. Mr. James West. Then Dr. Shirley Jackson, of course, invented the caller ID. And Mr. Jesse Russell, I gotta check him out because that's my last name as well. Mr. Jesse Russell is the inventor of the first digital cell phone. And they want to tell us that we came from monkeys. Now, since the 12-year-old's name, when I found it, it didn't show her name, so I didn't even bother to look it up. So I wanted to leave that to you all. 12-year-old who invented the air filters for her school. I don't know her name nor her location, but it's on social media, so I'm sure she can be found easy. But they try to tell us and hold us back that we didn't do anything, in which we know. Okay, you found her, Enolia. Okay, cool, thank you. From Connecticut, see, and that's why I didn't look it up. I knew we on top of it. We're on top. We got the game in the chokehold, and that's why all these shenanigans, y'all, is going on. That's why they had that a few years ago. Eniola. Okay, cool. Eniola from Connecticut is a 12-year-old's name, family. Because they know we got the. She's from Middleton. They know we got the game in the chokehold, and they're trying to do everything they can to hold us down. But now we have awakened. We have awakened, and as our good guy says, we back. We back. We are rising. Yes, we are rising. Right now, this next family, I only have just a couple more to speak about. Um, but I want to stop right here and say this. I had a wonderful weekend, you all. I had some church family over. We had a good time. We always have a good time when we all get together, and it was just a magnificent time. This morning we had one of our brothers, officer, you know who you are, make a good meal for us, a good breakfast. It was just delicious. You know, some chicken sausage, some eggs, some turkey bacon. It was magnificent. Some pancakes. You know, we didn't have the grits. You know, but who needs that? You know, we had everything else. We had camaraderie. We had love, and Christ was in the midst because yes, we were speaking on some biblical things. So I had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. All praise to the Most High, and I'm just happy to be amongst the living. I'm happy to be on this side of life, right? Because, like I said before, in our body, we've had a plethora of deaths lately, a plethora of deaths, and it is good to be with like-minded individuals, as the scriptures tell us, and that's where we try to be at. Be like-minded and just touch and agree and love on one another, you know, and when we can, take on each other's burdens and help each other through these times that are coming. Help each other through these times that are coming. We just lost a wonderful, great soul. Love her to life. Love her to life. And for those who know, I'm not going to say the name. For those who know, you know. And she left by her husband and some children. They will be fine. They are fine. But we miss her nonetheless. And the Most High is taking people out of here so they won't have to fool with these shenanigans that are coming our way. So when we do lose some loved ones, family, especially the loved ones who gave their life to the Most High, gave their life to the Most High through Christ, and lived through Christ, we know where they are. We know that they have been taken away or will be taken away because of the foolishness that's about to happen. That's one thing the Most High said when the flood came. He took people off this earth so they wouldn't have to deal with what was coming. So yes, especially if we know that our friends or our family, have left this earth and they had a good life. We can't say it for everybody. But if we know they had a good life and they were good people and we can see their fruits, we know where they are, and we know that we will see them again one day because those people did endure to their end. They endured. And this beautiful soul that we lost recently, she endured. And she touched me. I love her to life. I love her to life. Anyway, this next topic, y'all, I named this, and this is really weird. I've seen it before. I was gonna bring it out last week, but I didn't because it's just I don't even know why I'm bringing it out now. But I titled it. Well, he calls it the Black Alien Project. Anthony Lofredo. Black Alien Project. Anthony Lofredo. You can look him up. It's wild if you look him up. Now, Anthony Lofredo, he started transforming his body when he was about 24 years old, right? He did things to deform his body. Now, when you look at this guy, when you pull him up, his body now is black. And when I say black, his body is black, like black. He looks crazier than crazy. So we know when you look at him, he has some kind of spirit on him. He started to transform his body about at the age of 24. What he did was he cut off his top lip. He spliced his tongue into two, like a reptile, like a snake. He cut off his front nose, so part of his nose, he cut it off, right? He cut off both his ears. So when you look at this freak of nature, he ain't got no ears. I guess he thought they were protruding out. He just got two holes on the side of his head, right? A hole on each side of his head where his ears were. He cut off two of his fingers. This guy's name is Anthony Lofredo. He cut off two fingers. He has various implants in his arms and in his head. Anthony Lofredo, eventually he wants to split his manhood. Yeah, you see him? He crazy. You can't make this up. He crazy. He said eventually he wants to split his manhood in half, and he also wants to amputate one of his legs. Man, listen. If y'all look this dude up, he looked like a lizard guy. He looked like that gecko. He looked like a black gecko. That's what he looked like. Yes, demonic possession. We already know what time it is with that. How can you listen? What is he gonna say at Judgment Day? He can't say nothing except be in awe when he's standing in front of the Most High. When he's standing in front of Christ, there's nothing you can say. Nothing he can say. All we can do is pray for him. That's all we can do. But that's pure demonic possession. That's crazy. Yeah, he's trying to be a reptile. Absolutely trying to be a reptile. And of course he's a demon. Dude is insane, loco. En la cabeza es él. Man, he is crazy as two dead flies. And he literally got more nerve than a brass ass monkey. And that ain't no curse word. That's a donkey. All right. Yo, so is the guy's name is Anthony Lafredo. So now, if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, I did not give you all a saying of the day because I do have some sayings that I want to put out there. But before I go there, oh yeah, Parasites will take over. It's a wrap. But before I go there, I just want to recap of what I spoke about this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whenever it is that you can listen to me, see my beautiful mug, hear my great voice. I spoke about the Tower of Babel and the earbuds that they came out with, in which you can just speak and the person can put the earbud on and they can hear what you're saying in their language, trying to replicate what happened in the book of Acts, trying to have one speech on earth again. Goodness gracious, this is wild. I spoke about the California earthquake that happened December 5th at approximately 1:44 p.m., which is a 7.0 magnitude earthquake, which surprisingly did not make it a tsunami. So yeah, I believe what Sis said. I think that was HARP doing that, right? I spoke of this wonderful product, the Shilajit resin, that everyone needs to get a hold of and partake in because it will help your overall health. It does help to prevent dementia and or Alzheimer's, and I believe those are the same thing. They give one name to one race and the other name to the other race, if you know what I mean, right? I went on to mention the FYI gut cleanse, where you take half salt, half sugar, and some lemon. You boil all that together, boil it up very good, very hard, and you drink that one time a day, and that will help get all that poop out of your system. If you don't have any sugar, you can do it with just simply warm salt water, right? Drink that. Sis already said that she does that every day, so it does help. I did have here the last man or person to live in an iron lung. His name is Paul Alexander. Paul Alexander was diagnosed with polio when he was 5 years old, and back then polio was devastating. And he actually lived in his iron lung, which just his head was exposed. But he did go on to do things like pass the bar exam, and he actually became a lawyer. Now I don't believe he defended anyone, but when you pass the bar exam, you're a lawyer, right? I did have some jokes that I spoke about. For example, uh, uh, what is long, hard, and full of semen? It's a submarine, y'all. Right? Get your mind out together. Also gave us a little FYI on the young lady from Connecticut, Enolia, in which she created. She's 12 years old and she created a virus-killing air filter for her classrooms, and the state loved it so much that they awarded the state 11.5 million bucks to put it in all the schools. Right? That's wonderful. I mentioned Mr. Jesse Russell, who invented the first digital cell phone. I also mentioned Dr. Shirley Jackson. Dr. Shirley Jackson invented caller ID. And Dr. James West invented the electret, not electric, the electret microphone, which has advanced the sound industry and became the standard microphone used in products from music recording instrument and hearing aid devices. Listen, our people are amazing. Our people are so amazing because those we are the most highest people. We are the most highest people. And I also just mentioned Mr. Anthony Lafredo, who did what he called the Black Alien Project, where he basically simply mutilated his body family and turned himself into a creature. Cut off both his ears. The chosen. We are the chosen. He cut off both his ears. He cut off two of his fingers. He eventually wants to cut off a leg, and he wants to split his manhood in half. I mean, Then he cut the tip of his nose off. He split his tongue. He has some implants that he put in his head and his arms. I mean, he looks ridiculous. He looks ridiculous, right? Now, again, I did not come out with a saying of the day as I normally do. And I've come up with several sayings of the day, and I just said a few of them. Yeah, creature, feature, yeah, sick man. I come up with sayings of the day saying, uh, uh, you're stuck up the creek without a paddle. Everybody know that saying. I'm not gonna say those curse words. Um, you don't have you don't have a house to pee in or a window to throw it out. Well, a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out. Crazy as two dead flies. Got more nerve than the brass butt monkey, right? All these things that I've come out with in the past. Now, I have a few sayings here that I want to say um, because I just found these to be profound. And it actually comes from a song from a Mr. Damian Marley himself. Words of a Wise Man, Damian Marley. These come from a song, so if you can put it together, I ain't gonna say the song, but if you can put it together, okay, all praises. Does he work with Elon Musk? Hey, look, dude, who knows what they doing this time? So these sayings that I found from Mr. Damian Marley. The first one: better you build a bridge than instead of you building a wall. Better to do today than instead of you putting it off, because tomorrow is not sure, and that is for sure. So better give it your all. I'm going to say that again. Better to do today than instead of you putting it off, because tomorrow's not for sure, and that's for sure. So you better give it your all. Real is better than fraud. Freedom is better than bought. Gold is better than bronze. Bronze is better than brass. Health is better than wealth. Peace is better than war, family. Now is better than later. Not a now later, but now is better than later. The present is better than the past. And anything is better than hungry. And wisdom is better than smart. I like those. I had to bring those out because I like those sayings. I'm gonna go through them again. Words of a Wise Man, Damian Marley, is actually from a song that he was on with his. I'll give you a hint, with his nephew. Better you build a bridge than instead you build a wall. Better to do today than instead of you putting it off, because tomorrow is not sure, and that is for sure. So you better be giving it your all. You right. You can't live wrong and die right. Hey, Khan, all praise. That's what's up. You can't live wrong and die right. Thank you for sharing that. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Um, Real is better than fraud, right? Freedom is better than brought or bought. Freedom is better than bought. And we know that with our ancestors being bought from slave master to slave master. It's better to be a freed man. Gold is better than bronze. Bronze is better than brass. Health, as we know, is better than wealth, family. Peace is better than war. Now is better than later. The present is better than past. And anything is better than hungry. And wisdom is better than smart. Because, like my man said from Sanford and Son, Lamont, right? A man said wisdom is vertical. Y'all remember that? He said wisdom is vertical because wisdom comes from heaven. Wisdom comes from the Most High. Knowledge is horizontal because knowledge is here on this earth. That's so profound. Wisdom is up and down because that comes from him upstairs. So, family, I hope y'all enjoyed what I was speaking about tonight. I hope that this touched some people, especially my jokes, man. Y'all got to give it up for my jokes, man. These might be some dad jokes, but these was funny. My jokes be funny, man. And you can't come up with these jokes. You can't make this stuff up. You know what has 5 toes but ain't your foot? My foot. Right? You can't tell me that wasn't funny. But I'm glad you all listened to me. I want to thank everyone that is actually behind the scenes in helping me do what I do, bring this out. Because as the saying goes, if it wasn't you, it wouldn't be me. If you didn't come up with this platform, I would not be here today. Right? Everything's happens for a reason. I appreciate that. Thank you. There are no coincidences in life. They used to tell us that. They used to have us convinced, oh, it's a coinky dink. And then what we used to say, it's a coinky dink. I saw this person. No, ain't no coinky dink. Everything happens for a reason. It's just that we might not know that reason at that moment. Sometimes we might not know that reason at all. It's the Most High who knows that reason. And guess what? He might reveal that reason once we make it to Zion. I appreciate you, Rich. I appreciate Thank you for liking my jokes. But yeah, as I always say, family, we need to stay prayed up. We need to put on the whole armor of the Most High. And I just heard this guy say that if you really want to get your health right, he said that one thing that helped him is that he started eating one big meal per day. He eats one meal per day, one big meal, and he fasts every other day. So let's say, for example, he'll eat one big meal on Monday, fast Tuesday. One big meal on Wednesday, fast Thursday. But to each his own. We do need to stay prayed up and stay in fast, because if we're trying to throw off some of these spirits, as Christ told us, because the disciples couldn't pray away some of these spirits, if you know what I'm speaking about. And Christ told them, this particular spirit, you have to fast and pray. And that's why I'm always saying we have to stay prayed up and stay fasted up. We have to, because that enemy is walking around like a roaring lion, seeing who he can devour. And he tried to devour Job. But Job stayed prayed up. No matter what came his way, he stayed prayed up. So when we reach that Job moment, family, if we have not, when we reach our road to Damascus, stay prayed up, because that is a test. Life is a test itself. Earth is our test. We have to endure to the end. People run around talking about, I'm saved. I'm saved. What you saved from? What you saved from? The Most High ain't sent Christ back yet. It ain't the end yet. You still on this earth. It's not even your end yet. So what you saved from? Oh, the Most High know my heart. Yeah, he know all our heart. He peers into them nasty things on a daily basis. So as the scriptures say, wash you, make you clean. Get our houses in order. Get our temples in order. When I used to hear that, get your house in order, I used to literally be like, let me go clean my home. No, he mean this temple, my home, this encasing for my soul and my spirit. I love you all. I want to thank you for listening to me. And don't forget to check out their website, naturalglamskincare.com. Go ahead and celebrate locally black-owned businesses and get you a piece of that all natural product that my beautiful and gorgeous wife makes, Asha Chanel. I love you all. Stay prayed up. Get angry, but as the scriptures say, sin not. Shalom. 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 I love you all. Until next time. Peace.
Tribe of Judah. Yeah. Diary. Rakum. It's my Hebrew name, y'all. Came up out the streets, I'm living holy. No more Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, that was the old me. I don't do secular, no, you won't control me. My mind on the prize, I'm seeking the kingdom like it owe me. Anytime you see me, best believe you know I'm working. The Father won't catch me slipping, I'm on it, that's for certain. I'm on the winning team, yeah, you losers with the serpent. Wicked little heathens ain't gonna be ready for them torments. Me and the Father, you know we tighter than the corset. Tried to teach you, you a Hebrew, y'all ain't ready for the course yet. Sick of all you demons in my space, y'all need to fall back. I got that sword on me, they gon' miss you like a callback. Judah is my tribe, you know we all that. Seeking the kingdom, living righteously, yeah, all that. Come on.
Spiritual warfare, throw on my hard hat. The fall of Babylon, now it's time to bring them laws back. Climb.
Judah is my tribe, you know we all that. Seeking the kingdom, living righteously, yeah, all that. Come.
Spiritual warfare, throw on my hard hat. The fall of Babylon, now it's time to bring them laws back. Quam. Had to put that loud down so I can hear them now. Thank you for a second chance and all that you did for me. Got me out the dirt and all them hard times I was drowning in. Thank you for your guidance deep within, and it's our time to shine. All them broken hearts and empty souls, no more hiding it. John 5 and 9, this my story and I'm providing it. Change gon' come, I hope you listening. Standing on business. Who would've thought it was us, Baruch seen in this vision? Babylon, out of control, dwell with the heathens. Pray I make it to the kingdom, Lord knows I wanna see it. But I'm broke in the garden, partaking with the evil. Foolish, tempted in the beginning, fruits forbidden on his mission, salvation.
Judah is my tribe, you know we all that. Seeking the kingdom, living righteously, yeah, all that. Come.
Spiritual warfare, throw on my hard hat. The fall of Babylon, now it's time to bring them laws back. Quam.
Judah is my tribe, you know we all that. Seeking the kingdom, living righteously, yeah, all that. Quam.
Spiritual warfare, throw on my hard hat. The fall of Babylon, now it's time to bring them laws back. Quam. Babylon mind stay still picking from the tree. Take a look in the mirror, too much vanity. You is not of this world, it's your enemy.